friend of mine recently told me a story, a true story. He's from the northern Ethiopia, and he was telling me about an elderly man that was who experienced injustice. So he had a court case, and he lost the case. And he was deeply disappointed, and he was heartbroken. And this story happened during the Emperor Haile Selassie. Some of you might remember or know in history. So this man decided to walk from the northern Ethiopia area, around 900 kilometers down to Addis, to the capital city, to appeal to the king. He made his way. It took him around 3 months, begging for food on his way. He made it to Addis. And then when he came forward to Addis, he went directly to the palace, to the entrance area. And there, this man was just standing there at the entrance of the palace of Emperor Haile Selassie. Quite impossible for him to access to get to the king. And yet he was persistent, stood at the gate of the palace. And Emperor Haile Selassie was driving in and out, perhaps not every single day, but there were times that he would leave the palace, drive off, and time to get back to his palace. It took another 3 months until Emperor Haile Selassie took notice of this man. And then he said, "Who is this man and what is he looking for?" Every time the emperor gets into the palace and out, this man will bow down all the way to the ground to honor the king and to be noticed by the emperor. And finally it happened. And the guards came. They would just push him away from the area, from the entrance, for security purposes, obviously. And he wasn't really well dressed. But finally, when he was noticed by the emperor, they called him. They changed his clothing, told him how to approach the king, the emperor. And finally, he appeared before the king. And he told the king that he was there to appeal, that he lost the case, and that was injustice. And Emperor Haile Selassie paid him a good amount of money and ordered his case to be revisited. And that way, justice was made perfectly. So in Psalms chapter 40, it says, "I waited upon the Lord patiently, and he had heard my cry, and he leaned towards me." So that word, waiting patiently, there is one single word in my language, which is Semitic. That word is to wait at the gate of the palace until you will be noticed by the king. Coming to the king, to the palace, to seek the king, to appeal, having a case, paying a price. This man walked 900 kilometers from the northern Ethiopia all the way down to Addis, to the capital city. And it took him another 3 months to be noticed. So that particular word is dejጥናት in Amharic. That means to stand patiently and consistently. Patiently. The word patiently is not just a passive word, to wait, not just reluctantly, but purposefully and actively waiting upon the king and to be noticed by him. And that's what seeking God is. And there are times, here we read in Isaiah 55, "Seek God while he is here to be found. Pray to him while he is close at hand." Isaiah is referring to an event that happens in Israel, where kings come out to the street and avail themselves to anyone, and no one knows that day. No one knows, no one can predict that day. The king has the right to choose which day he would go out on the street to meet with anyone available. Once people hear that the king is out on the street, everyone, the news spread and people come out to look upon the king.